Your flaws are your perfections, and once you're able to understand this, you're able to capitalize on all of your deficiencies that you have in life, or that you even imagine to think that you have, which most likely really aren't deficiencies, and in fact they're most likely advantages that you don't even know that you have. Now in this video, as all of my other videos always go, is me explaining my ideologies behind business, life, and all the philosophies that I have curated for myself over the past 6 years of doing business and entrepreneurship. The main reason why I decided to record this video is because I feel like it's very, very applicable to people in general, not just people who are in the business field, people who are aspiring to be things in life other than entrepreneurs. Maybe you want to be an artist, maybe you want to be, a singer, something. But the point that I'm trying to make is that your flaws are your perfections and are your biggest advantage in life. And the reason why I say this is because the more that you're able to hone in and understand your specialties in life, these things are exactly what's going to separate you from the competition. Now, there's deficiencies in life and there's proficiencies in life. Deficiencies are things that hold us back, things that we might be weaker in, things that we might not have that competitive advantage in. And proficiencies are things that we have an edge in, things that are easily noticeable, comparable to someone else in life. So if you put two people next to each other, you can tell that one's obviously in better physical shape than the other simply just by looking at them. Now, deficiencies, you can tell that someone might be shorter or, more out of shape than the other individual. But this doesn't necessarily always make you a worse off individual. It's all about your perspective on things, and that's what you need to understand. We'll use this video in the law of entrepreneurship and business because that's what I specialize in. Now, if you're able to look at yourself and you're able to figure out every single deficiency that you have within your business and every single proficiency that you have within your business, you will become extremely, extremely successful. And the reason being is because most people are unable to take the time to visually understand and identify where their strengths and weaknesses are. And if you're able to do this, if you're able to look in the mirror and be completely honest with yourself or analyze your business from a bird's eye perspective, then you're able to understand what you need to change. And understanding what you need to change is what always, in every single aspect and avenue of business, moves the needle. Now, to get to the bird's eye view in business, it takes a long, long, long time. To have that bird's eye view, you're going to have to start to delegate. You're going to start to have to get employees. You're going to start to have to, have other people in the company. So most of you guys watching are probably not at that point yet. So you're probably asking yourself, well, how do I get this bird's eye view on my business to be able to analyze? What you have to do is you have to take a step back and maybe draw a Venn diagram of comparing your current business model and the business model that you're in to the top player in that same exact field as you that you most likely look up to. It could be, Iman Gadzhi. It could be, anyone that's making content, anyone that's doing a business, SMMA, sales, whoever it is. It doesn't really matter. It just has to be someone who is doing far, far more than you in life and doing far, far more than you in that field that you're trying to emulate in some type of way. So what you're going to do is on one side, you're going to write all of the attributes of their company. You're going to have to dig to figure out how many employees do they have? How do they operate? What is their goal? What is their company's mission? What is their, annual revenue? So on and so forth. And you're going to have to break down every single aspect of that business. And then on the other side, what I want you to do is break down every single different aspect of your business. How many employees do you have? You might be the only person working in the company. How many, hours are you spending a day? What is your annual revenue? What is your net profit? What is the percentage of return on investment? How many clients are you closing? How many appointments are you booking? So on and so forth. And in the middle of this diagram, all you have to do is find things that are as similar to basically the master of that business that you think in your mind is the master, whoever that is. Or I would encourage you to most likely find the most credible person that you can find. Most likely these people are unknown people that aren't really, doing social media like that, or they are kind of private, and all the super, super valuable videos of these people have like 40 views on YouTube and they're unknown. So you want to look for actual founders, people in the Silicon Valley, people who are actually building real companies. That's just some side note advice. But in the middle of this Venn diagram, compare your company currently at its current stage, which is going to be drastically different from someone who is at, level 100 maxed out, and figure out, okay, I have one employee maybe, or I'm the only employee. This company has 100 employees. My revenue is this, their revenue is this. My company mission, I might not even know my company mission. And slowly, you're going to build out a list in the middle of the Venn diagram of not what the differentiators are, but figuring out where your weakest links are in comparison to that strong suit individual. And what you're going to realize about your company is that there's a lot of work that needs to be done that you didn't notice before simply because you had nothing to compare it to. People say that comparison is the thief of joy, but I never would believe that that is true, because once you adopt that mindset, you're adopting a victim mentality mindset, which won't get you very far in life, if I'm being completely blunt with you. So the point being is the more you're able to compare yourself, compare your company to other people's companies, A players' companies, the more you're able to have a competitive advantage, because you're being realistic. That's what the whole business game is. That's what life is. So do this in business, and for example, figure out, what is it that I need to change as soon as possible, and simply change it. It's not that hard. Or simply input more things that you know that you need to input that you simply haven't inputted yet. That's how this whole game works. I'm not here to overcomplicate things. I'm here to tell you things simple and the raw reality of how things are. That's why I don't edit or cut any of this stuff. So in this avenue, that's what I want you to do. And we're going to get into a few more examples of how you can do this. Because like I said, this isn't just for entrepreneurs. This could be for life in general. This could be if you want to be an MMA fighter. This could be whatever you want to do. You can use this law and use this, example to apply it to anything. If you want to become a better man or a better individual, you have to at least look at a North Star and figure out who that person is that you want to be. Whether it's you comparing yourself to someone else who is a lot further along in their journey than you, or even better yet, compare it to the version of you that you see of yourself and envision of yourself becoming in your mind. If you're able to do that, that's the most powerful thing, even far more powerful than you comparing yourself to Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, so on and so forth. If you're able to completely envision a version of yourself that outcompetes everyone, completely destroys yourself. I mean, within 1 year, if you don't look back on yourself and say, wow, I would destroy that guy now, then you're not simply working hard enough. You have to be able to look back at your old self and say, I really surpassed that guy. How was that even me? If you look a year ago and you're still that same person, you're not doing really much with your life at all. That's the hard, cold, honest truth. So the best avenue that you can go down is with that Venn diagram. On the right side, what I want you guys to do is envision a version of yourself that you should already be envisioning if you chase success in life. It might be, billionaire, it might be have this car, these cars, this mindset toward work, working this long per day, this amount of money in the bank, this amount of money in investments, this cash flow, this net profit, this percent return, net margin, ROI on my business, how much am I making per month, how much am I making annually, how do people look at me, how is my body looking, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis to improve, what are my, philosophies, what are my ideologies, how do I think about life, how do I look at life, how do people, perceive me as an individual, how is my relationship with God? All these different things matter in life. So if you're able to create and understand and envision, not create yet, but we're in the process of creating, more so envision this exact person, and you always have to be exact when doing this. You can't be, kind of cloudy on the edges. It has to be exact and precise. You write down this person and you write down who you are now and do the Venn diagram example. And you'll quickly realize that all of the flaws that you have are easily changeable. And all you have to do is write down a step-by-step process of, I'm, not succeeding in business right now. I'm doing 3K profit a month, which might be good for some people. Kudos to you. But the point being is, if I add this revenue stream, or if I add this upsell to my website, or if I use this funnel, or if I call this many more leads per day, then my business is going to grow by 200%. So all I have to do is add that input to get the output of growing my business by 200%. All it simply is an equation that's going to get you to the next level. So why would you not do that? Plain and simple. The point being is that within this Venn diagram, all your weaknesses are going to show comparative to that individual that you want to become. So now you realize all your flaws and all your imperfections, all of your, things that are maybe causing you to feel like you're not that guy or not that woman yet, are likely the things that are your biggest superpower, because you're able to use those to make the most amount of change in your life. The things that you're already highly performing at and doing great at in life, if you up those by so much, then your business isn't really going to change. Your life isn't really going to change that much. But if you're able to hone in on these things that are pulling you back, holding you back, think that you're not good at, and probably really aren't good at, and you're able to accept that and recognize that, work on those, and go from being 20%, of your potential in that field to 60% potential in that field, imagine how much better you'll perform, not only in life, but in your business, in your relationships, all these different things. Focus on these things. Focus on these imperfections and flaws that you have within yourself. It's not bad to accept them. It's not wrong to accept that you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. So the sooner you accept that, and the sooner you drop your ego, the sooner you improve as an individual and as a human being. This is exactly what it takes. I'm not here to give you guys all this fluff and lie and BS. This is just the cold, hard reality and truth. So I hope you guys took this, not with a grain of salt, but as I always say, the whole salt shaker, and you apply this into your life. And we're going to continue to post all of these videos. I have 14 more, in-depth videos that I want to get done this month. That's why you're seeing consistent uploads every single day. And I wish you the best, and as always, I believe in you. Good night.